Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Welcome back from timcast.com. Ukrainian member of parliament. World War III has already started. Absolute, total, 100% bull. It's not World War III. Not at all. It really sucks. It's a humanitarian nightmare. The world isn't black and white. It isn't the guys with the white hats against the guys with the black hats from the old westerns. It just doesn't work that way. There's a lot of gray and a lot of nuance. Let's read on. A Ukrainian member of parliament claimed that World War III has already started during an appearance on Fox News. Of course he would. His world around him is crumbling. And he's also a member of Ukrainian parliament, like if it was a Congress member for us. The lawmaker appeared on Fox and Friends to urge the United States to provide his country with more weapons. Now, he's not asking for troops on the ground. He's asking for more weapons. I might not have a problem with that. Give him the support that you can. Let's read on and see what he's really after. Host Trace Gallagher was discussing how the U.S. was hesitant to put boots on the ground in the conflict that had concern with respect to World War III. World War III has already started. If somebody doesn't see it, it's their problem. It's not war against Ukraine, but war against the whole free world. That's a lie. From his point of view, though, Ukraine is the whole world. You have to put yourself in somebody else's position. It is a war against Ukraine and some of the smaller states around Ukraine in Russia. I almost said Soviet Union. They're trying to maybe create the Soviet Union light. As we all know, in the 90s when the real Soviet Union collapsed. And just like this will, even if he takes small countries along the way, eventually they'll overextend and it'll crash. Pressure from the international community. But you have to make sure when you have somebody like Putin who sees things a certain way that you not back him into a corner like a wild animal. Because they will lash out. And they say, well, John, that's appeasement. I thought you were a conservative guy and you believe in the rights of people and blah, blah, blah. I do. But I'm also a pragmatist. If that was the case, then why haven't we barred all trade with China from the horrific things they've done to their own people, the Uyghurs, etc.? Because we don't live in a perfect world. I owned a business convenience store for over 20 years in upstate New York. I did business and interacted with people I didn't like and couldn't stand, some of them. Not many, but some, all the time. If you only dealt with people that you really liked, no business would survive and no country would survive in trade. It's that simple. Do you think for a minute that after what the government of Canada did to its people, that we should cut off all trade with our number one trading partner, and we're the biggest economy in the world, and our number one trading partner is Canada, we should cut them off? Well, if that was a country somewhere else, maybe in Europe, we might have. You've got to pick and choose your spots and do the best you can. Despite his assertion, the member of parliament claimed that Ukraine does not want to send the U.S. soldiers just weapons, though he would later contradict that claim. We're not asking for boots on the ground, but give us possibilities. He also went on to request Patriot missiles and a no-fly zone on the border with Poland. Now, a no-fly zone is an act of war. Period. Always has been, always will be. You want to have a no-fly zone? Would check with NATO air cover, U.S. air cover, making sure that the no-fly zone is enforced. That leads to conflict. That leads to world war, or definitely at least regional war. Let's read on. A no-fly zone on the border with Poland, which would have to be enforced by troops ready to shoot down Russian planes, he said. He wanted a humanitarian air corridor to assist with evacuating children from conflict zones. That's bullshit. I'm not even going to put the censor beep on it. A no-fly zone is part of war. It's an act of war. Don't get sucked in And it's not that I don't want to help people that are being persecuted by large, powerful countries. The fact of the matter is, even before World War II, but I'll say especially since World War II, the United States really sucks at it. We are horrible at it. We send our men and women through a meat grinder. We force regime changes in countries all over the world, closest one being Cuba. How long do you think, if we used our influence and money and caused chaos, we'll say in Canada or Mexico, and did it constantly, how long before they would hate our guts? We have regime changes all over Europe, the Middle East. We do it all the time. And I can't think of one success story since World War II. We had regime changes in Vietnam. Now, a lot of you that listen to this weren't around back then, but I got out of high school in 1974. We even went along, and I believe financed an assassination of the South Vietnamese presidents. We could put our own regime in that was more likable to us and was more Western in thinking. South Korea's no better. I mean, they ended up really doing well, of course, because we held out, and now North Korea is not even a third world country; it's a fifth world country. It's damn near Stone Age. But anyway, we really suck at putting in regimes, presidents, people we think are pro-West. It always ends up badly. It ended up badly in Afghanistan just recently, and I can go through the entire list. We truly suck at it. Now, all the major powers, and for a long time the Soviet Union, did the same thing. And we did it too. These proxy wars that we went on, because we can't fight with each other because of the nuclear weapon that's hanging over us, the nuclear weapons that one might launch. We can't fight each other, but we do it through proxy states. The major powers in this world have destroyed more countries with these stupid proxy wars than anything else, even in our own hemisphere. I mean, look what we did in Central America during the 1980s. This is ridiculous. But I digress. But we suck at it. If they go after NATO, and I don't mean just like Moldavia wants to join NATO now. You really want to start World War III, spend a couple of $1 trillion, maybe kill several hundred Americans to save Moldavia? Really? Honestly? I doubt if anybody was really asked one-on-one they would go along with that. But I digressed again. Let's read on. Well, he predicts that Ukraine will ultimately win the war. He said there could be a massacre if Russia takes major cities. Certainly with guerrilla fighting, we would never accept that. Well, of course. That's why they passed out guns to the populace. But as soon as that guerrilla war is over, though, they're going to take them away from their people. Well, that's a different issue, I guess. We want peace. We want peace as soon as possible. We're not going to surrender. And for that, I give him kudos. Putin has been talking on peace talks on one hand, the other hand, he is throwing missiles. Of course he is. We do it too, and so do you guys. You're not so clean either. You deserve what's happening to your country? No. We are not going to get sucked in. Russian-backed rebels and Ukrainian military have both accused each other of firing on the kindergarten on February 25th. 2 civilians were shell-shocked from the incident. No details are reported. My heart goes out to them. It really does. It really does. We can't be the world's police officer and cop since we've had been from World War II. That will not diminish our power, our respect, and our authority in the world. We have to pick and choose our spots better. I find it ironic that the first ambassador to the country, the new country of Vietnam, after it was so-called unified, the first U.S. ambassador was a former POW. We've made so many horrible mistakes. That's just one of them. I mean, it's all over the world, especially in the Middle East. What a gigantic cluster that's been. And the last fiasco is that absolutely horrendous, supposedly withdraw from Afghanistan, that what tarnishes their reputation. That's what we lose respect on. We have to stay out of these conflicts. We still have the most powerful military in the world, whether we intervene or not. And it's bringing in billions of dollars. For those of you younger people, go on YouTube and punch in Eisenhower's farewell address. This man knew what the hell he was talking about. He was president of the United States for 8 years. He was head of the Allied powers in the European theater in World War II. The guy knew a lot about war, a ton about the military. And listen what he has to say. It's the famous beware of the military-industrial complex speech, which he basically says it's here, be careful of it. It will destroy democracies, in this case, our republic. I'm sorry that it's here, but it is, and this is a warning. He didn't have to do that, but he did it because he felt it was necessary. Listen to that before you make up your mind who to vote for. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.